This is a case between Eduardo Saori and Mark Zuckerberg. And Eduardo Saori is accusing Mark Zuckerberg of scheme to defraud in second degree. 109.6 scheme to defraud in second degree says a person is guilty for a scheme of defraud in second degree when he engaged in a scheme constituting a systematic ongoing course of conduct with intent to defraud more than one person by false or defrauding pretenses, representations, or promises, and so obtains properties from one or more of such persons. This means you have to lie more than one person and get property from them. More than one person. And the fact is, Winklevoss twins asked Mark to help writing codes for their website called Harvard Connection. And however, instead of helping the twins, Mark started to make his own website, which is called Facebook.com. And he launched that website before the link was busted. And this other fact is, Eduardo originally had about 34% of the Facebook share at the point of October 2004. However, within less than half years, that share went down below 1%, 34% to less than 1%. And other members' share didn't change. And also, Eduardo has spent his $1,000 to start up the Facebook.com, but that money maybe came from his father's money, so maybe, yeah, Mark maybe got property from his father. And now, I explained to you about the Winklevoss's fact. I say creation of the Facebook means stealing Winklevoss's property. Mark started creating the Facebook.com after he saw twins work. Isn't this mean he got inspiration from his, twins' website and stole a website from them? I think so. Also, Mark kept lying to twins that he's still working on writing codes, but actually he didn't even write his codes. And this also could say that he stole an idea and he lied that he's writing code, but he's not that mean person. Also, firing or depriving Eduardo power in the Facebook means stealing property from Eduardo. I said that Eduardo had originally 34% of the share, but the share dropped down to less than 1% within less than half years. And other people's share didn't even change. And this happened without The point is, Eduardo didn't even hear about the fact that the share had dropped down to 1%. This means Mark had stole Eduardo's 34% share of the Facebook without letting Eduardo know. From those, Mark stole property from more than one person, which are Eduardo and Winklevoss's. So, Mark will be guilty for defraud in the second degree.
Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen. I'm the defendant of the case, Eduardo Saori versus Mark Zuckerberg. Eduardo Saori, who was co-founder of the Facebook and has been the CFO and business manager of the Facebook since it was created, complains Mark Zuckerberg as the law 190.60 scheme to defraud in the second degree. So Eduardo Saori accuses Mark Zuckerberg that Mark took his money with intention. As they made the internet site called the Facebook, Eduardo Saori himself invested in the site $1,000 to hack server of Facebook. By this investment, he would receive 30% of the profits the Facebook would make, and Mark Zuckerberg admitted this also. In addition to this investment, Eduardo added $1,800 to the company as he made his own bank account. As the company grew, sharing of it dramatically increased, which made individuals' share drop. So Eduardo's share dropped to below 1%. Eventually, Mark fired Eduardo. As a defendant, I would say this case does not suit to the law 190.60, scheme to defraud in the second degree. According to this law, a person is guilty of a scheme to defraud in the second degree when he engages in a scheme constituting a systematic, ongoing course of conduct with, and this is important, intent to defraud more than one person, or to obtain from more than one person by false or fraudulent pretenses, representations, or promises, and so obtains property from one or more than person. In fact, as the prosecutor said, Mark Zuckerberg dropped Eduardo's share and fired him. However, I would say there is no intention to defraud his money. Mark Zuckerberg works on the programming of Facebook in Silicon Valley, California. On the other hand, Eduardo, as a business manager of the company, works on the business aspects such as negotiating with the advertisements to make money. Yes. However, the book describes that Eduardo did not do well on this. That being said, Mark might have recognized that it could be a loss of the company and leads to firing Eduardo, which means not to defraud Eduardo's money. So he has done firing for the company. And also, if prosecution insists that this case is scheme to defraud, I think this case might not be scheme to second degree, but I think it's first degree. The reason why this case is scheme to defraud in first degree is money. Just think about how much money will be defrauded in this case. The one will be, like I said, the total investment that Eduardo gave. It will be like about $2,800. And also the difference between 34% of the profits and below 1% of the profits that the Facebook makes. The problem is, according to 190.65, scheme to defraud in first degree, a person is guilty of scheme to defraud in first degree when he engages in a scheme constituting a systematic ongoing course of conduct with intent to defraud more than one person, or to obtain property from more than one person by false or fraudulent pretenses, representations, or promises, and so obtains property with value in excess of $1,000 from one or more such people. So from this, I would say this money that could be considered as defrauded definitely worth more than $1,000. That suits to the law in scheme to defraud in first degree. So from this, I conclude Mark Zuckerberg cannot be accused of scheme to defraud in second degree. Thank you.